Michael? This Michael? God damn, this shit go hard. Shit. Woo! Alright, enough of that, man. Let's get into a serious topic, man. We got a serious video here, man. I'm just saying that Angry Birds drill, though. That Angry Birds drill, like, that shit is nasty, dog. Since I was just talking about I was just watched the podcast on creation and consciousness and the universe. I thought, why not we're gonna make this the last video for today, man. The story of creation through sacred geometry by After School.
On brilliant.org.
First time. This is the first time on the channel. This is a first time, man. This is like this is the inaugural After School, man. After School makes some crazy videos, by the way. The Divine Artist channeling the cosmic what? Oh, there's so much knowledge. It's hurting my head. I feel like I'm having a fucking
Science will always push the limits of our understanding. Humanity is on a quest to expand our knowledge, to dig deeper, to look further, and to uncover the truth of reality. For generations, religious teachings once held to the belief that Earth was only a few thousand years old. With the rise and study of evolution and geology, a consensus emerged that our planet was actually millions of years older. By the 1920s, radiometric dating would lead to the current understanding that Earth is 4.55 billion years old.
It's actually pretty old, you know.
But where did the Earth come from? In the same decade, a Belgian priest named Georges Lemaitre introduced the Big Bang Theory, in which he theorized that the universe began from a single...
That's a sick fucking... Georges Lemaitre, you gotta remember that guy. That's an important man. I mean, for somebody to go from nothing to then go and develop a Big Bang Theory, like, that takes a man. That takes a certain kind of person, man. I don't think just anybody... Like, of course, it'd have to be a George Lemaitre, whatever the fuck. That's a cool name, though. It's a cool name. Like, damn. How do you even go? What are you basing this off of? I mean, like, I guess it was science. I mean, this is like the point where, like, the laws of physics just simply, they go dumb. Like, the laws of physics, they seem to break. Like, we have no way of knowing anything before this point. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's a beginning. I don't think it's that. Is it necessary that it's like a beginning, that we have to look at it from that concept of it being a beginning? Like, it's just like the furthest back point that we can go up until our knowledge of physics is just fucked. Like, that's as far back as we really could expect to go. I think it might be. Well, if your knowledge of physics is fucking up, it's probably because something happened, right? Like, maybe it ain't a Big Bang. Maybe all of that black holes create universes theory is true. That just seems more probable to me. I'm not gonna hold you. Because this Big Bang Theory coming out of nowhere, I mean, I now understand the Big Bang, like, very well. But I'm almost starting to feel like the black hole theory is just better. Like, there's a black hole, middle of the universe. Maybe it doesn't have to be just the one at the center of a galaxy, not the middle of the universe. The center of a galaxy, there's like a black hole, whatever. That black hole could lead to other universes. But it's also like, that black hole theory is interesting. Maybe that's when we came out of the black hole. That's really what the Big Bang Theory is. Maybe that's what it is. I think that's a better theory, because I don't know what the fuck. Well, I mean, with our understanding of physics, it just seems like the black hole one is just the more probable one, but who knows how far our physics can really take us. We're just fucking monkeys on a planet, man. We're just monkeys, but we're self-conscious at least. And it's like, that's great. I'm super happy. I always talk about that all the time. Like, I'm in love with the fact that I am just consciously aware of the universe. It's the matter starting to wake up, right? That's what that scientist said in that podcast. To hear a scientist say that. The universe is waking up, or matter waking up, and we're looking at it. We're like consciously looking at itself and understanding itself and studying itself. It's like, say that shit again, homie. That shit turns me on. That shit is sick.
Primordial atom. The idea received a major boost from Edwin Hubble's observations that galaxies across the cosmos are speeding away from us in all directions, as well from the 1960s discovery of cosmic microwave radiation.
That is, yeah.
But where did the Big Bang come from?
That was always my question.
Before the Big Bang,
that was always my two questions. That was my two questions.
Billion years ago.
You could even go ask him if you found him. Fucking my good man's Mr. Jackson. I even told my physics teacher. I was like, bro, this shit is half-assed. I've learned so much since the moment that I asked him that. But I was like, dude, this shit is half-assed. Like this Big Bang Theory shit, that shit is whack. His gear, whack. And it was just like, well, if I only focused on these two questions and realized that there's no answer to them, then I'm going to think your theory is whack. But come to think about it, for some other reasons, I now don't think the theory is whack. I just think that there's definitely a lot more to it than just the Big Bang, you know?
Someday we might know the answer. And once we have the answer, the next logical question will be, what came before that?
Yeah, and then I thought that too.
Sacred geometry reverse engineers our method of scientific exploration. It does so by starting with the logical beginning of everything, which is nothing. Before there was something, there was nothing. The universe was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep.
Okay.
The first thing to come into existence was a point.
Okay.
Before anything could be, it has to start with a point. A point occupies no space. It has no dimensions. It's so small it can't be measured, yet it encompasses everything within it. You could say this point is spirit. And what is the first thing that spirit does? It becomes conscious. It becomes aware. 360 degrees of awareness in the vast emptiness of
What?
the void. The ancient Egyptians believed that this innate aspect of consciousness is what sparked the process of creation. Then what did spirit do? The only thing it could do.
I've not heard this theory before. 360 degrees of consciousness? Well, are you really going to answer that question logically? Look at the logics you're using. Look at the language you're using. You're using this language that was built to talk about burgers and I'm going to order my next McDonald's meal. You're using language that was built to talk about, like, animals and, like, sex and, like, shit that's only, like, it hurts. It hurts to be conscious because you realize you're a fucking monkey. And you're just like, look at all this shit that's so cool that we now know because of science. And it's like, to question your own ignorance. Well, it's like, that goes against your biology, right? So look what we can do when we go against our biology. One of the things that Joe Rogan talked about, which was at some point we're probably going to want to become symbiotic and we're going to want to like integrate with like AI or something or some like become a cyborg because it seems like our biology is holding us back in some way, right? Like we're just fucking monkeys. And it's like anything that you put out there, I will entertain. I'll be intrigued. Like I'll listen because I'm an open-minded person, and I'm like, fuck it, I want it all. But it's also like, I can't help but have this nudge feeling of, am I ever really gonna get an answer? Like, am I ever gonna know? Should I want to know? Like, could I be okay not knowing? Well, I'm still gonna be curious and ask anyway, and never give up. But it's also like, you really do want an answer. You know, you really do want an answer. Like, what is that? Why are we getting that idea? That, like, what is this panpsychism?
360 degrees of awareness in the vast.
So this would require that the entire universe is conscious.
Emptiness of the void. The ancient Egyptians believed that this innate aspect of consciousness is what sparked the process of creation. Then what did spirit do? The only thing it could do. It moved. The first 3 lines of Genesis in the King James Bible.
Oh shit, we're going to Genesis?
In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth.
Okay.
And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. And God said, "Let there be light." And there was light. Now, interpretations of the Bible have varied
Let there be
a lot
form?
over time, but the important thing to note here is that movement happened before there was light. From the vantage of pure physics or mathematics, motion is impossible in a void. You can't go anywhere, or fall, or rotate. There's just infinite emptiness in all directions.
Yes.
So in order to move, you need something in relation to move to. Before there was light, there was movement. Once Spirit created a point in space, it was able to move to the edge of its awareness and expand consciousness, creating another circle to form the Vesica Piscis. This football-shaped opening in the middle is the geometric image through which light was created, and it is also the geometric shape through which our eyes receive light. Spirit would continue to expand its awareness, following the Genesis pattern, by moving to each intersection of the circumferences and expanding. The second movement creates the third circle, which forms the Holy Trinity. With each movement, more information unfolds. By the fourth motion, we have moved halfway around the first circle, 180 degrees from the first motion. On the fourth day of Genesis, exactly half of creation was completed.
What are you talking about,
After
Genesis?
6 movements, 6 days, a geometric miracle takes place. We have a complete pattern, the seed of life. This complete pattern is called the seed of life, for it contains the recipe of life and all its potential. The second rotation of circles forms a three-dimensional shape. The ancients who were concerned with life and death called this cluster of spheres the egg of life. Your entire existence is dependent on the egg of life structure. Everything about you, from your height to your eye color, was created through the egg of life form. Spirit would continue this pattern with a third rotation.
Yo, this goes beyond my
19 circles
knowledge.
Produces the flower of life.
What?
A shape that is found in ancient cultures around the world, from China to Ireland to Egypt to
Maybe
India.
they just like flowers.
They all had some notion of the flower of life. Why is this shape so special?
Where did they get this
Because
idea
the
of notion of the
information
flower of
hidden in the
life?
flower of life is so important and so sacred that our ancient ancestors had to keep it secret, which was appropriate at that time. However, now, we either use the information or fall further into darkness. When the flower of life is extended out and all the circles are completed, the fruit of life is revealed. This is the secret. Out of the flower comes the fruit. The fruit of life is an entirely feminine shape. Curved lines are feminine. They represent formlessness and emotion.
I'm not gonna hold you at the beginning. Look. I'm an open-minded individual. Okay, let's not get it twisted. This guy is losing me. Okay, what are you talking about feminine shape? Why are you saying that? How is this a fruit? What is this a fruit of? What are you talking about fruit? Why are you using these language? Like, explain the words you're using here. Like, is it a flower because it looked like a flower? I mean, I think maybe I could see that it kind of looks like a flower. Like, maybe the way we would draw it. But it's like, how is this a fruit and how is this feminine? Like, what do you mean curved lines? Don't they all have curved lines? I don't see a singular non-curved line in this whole entire shtick. What are you talking about? Like curved lines. What is he saying? What sacred geometry? This goes... I don't know anything about this.
Once we add masculine energy or lines, the formless begins to take shape.
Masculine?
This is Metatron's cube, and it contains the fabric of reality, because out of this shape, we get the Platonic solids. Platonic solids have faces that are all the same size, edges that are all the same length, angles that are all the same degree. And if put into a sphere, all points will touch the edge of the sphere. These shapes were studied in ancient times by the Egyptians, who passed the knowledge to the Greeks, where Pythagoras would study them, and later Plato, which is where we get the name Platonic. There are 5 Platonic solids: the cube, the tetrahedron, the octahedron, the isosahedron, and the pentagonal dodecahedron.
Isosahedron?
Earth, air, fire, water, and ether.
Avatar?
Each Platonic solid
Air,
corresponds
water,
to
fire. These are the 3. No, wait. That's Powerpuff Girls. This motherfucker. Air? Earth. Why Earth? Come on, dog. Earth came like 9 billion years after that. What are you talking about? Earth? What are you talking about? Water? What? You lost me. I thought we were still back at the Big Bang. No water back at the Big Bang. There's no Earth. I don't even think there was air. It's fire? I mean, well, technically.
And the pentagonal dodecahedron. Earth, air, fire, water, and ether, or prana. Each
Ether?
Platonic solid corresponds to a different element, and every element of the periodic table has a geometric relation to one of the Platonic solids. From the motion of atoms, to molecules, to viruses, to snowflakes, to the shape of sound, to the orbits of the planets in our solar system, everything
Who's drawing this?
sound to the orbits of the planets in our solar.
What am I looking at? What the fuck? You're telling me who's doing all of this? Who's drawing this? How are you connecting it? Where are you making these lines? What connections are you seeing that I'm not seeing? How are you connecting all of this? What the fuck? Oh, my shit.
Solar system. Everything stems from this basic geometric information system, and it all starts with spirit.
I think you're just
Looking
taking
at ancient myths and religious teachings in a metaphorical sense, and less in a literal materialistic sense, will allow us to decipher the encoded wisdom.
Oh, okay, so
and
metaphorical.
may perhaps serve to bridge.
See, yeah, I mean, they're right. I mean, this is more of a metaphorical thing, and I'm more used to the more traditional sense.
The divide between spirit and science. As above, so below. There's as much greater than us than there is lesser than us. There's as much outside us as there is within. Everything above us and everything below us is constructed from geometric relationships. When we study sacred geometry, we begin to understand our place in the universe.
Well, what's
All
our place?
this expansion of consciousness, all this curious exploration is really about finding out who we are. We are a mystery to ourselves, and to uncover where we came from is to know ourselves on the deepest level. Everything, from the smallest particle to the biggest star, is connected, and you are at the absolute center of it all. Philosophy is written in this grand book, the universe,
He's not wrong.
which stands continually open to our gaze. But the book cannot be understood unless one first learns to comprehend the language and read the letters in which it's composed. It is written in the language of mathematics, and its characters are triangles, circles, and other geometric figures, without which it is humanly impossible to understand a single word of it. Without these, one wanders about in a dark labyrinth. Galileo Galilei.
Shit.
Something
he also-
called the Fibonacci Sequence.
The Fibonacci. What are they talking about? Also, he butchered the fuck out of his last name, bro. You know I call that man by his real name, Galileo Galilei. All right, not Galilei, whatever he's Galileo Galilei. Sorry. I'm sorry, man. I need to go to fucking bed. It's 11:40. Damn. Fucking damn. You see, something's not adding up. Cause, well, it's also like the book is written in the language of mathematics. That's just the physics. Physics, right? There are physics of the universe that it's like the code of it, right? It is the coding. If you had to make a concept, right? Let's think of a simulation, okay, or like a computer program. It's the coding. Mathematics is the coding, right? So it has to abide by the laws. Yes, characters are triangles, circles, and other geometric figures. In where the fuck am I seeing triangles? In like if I'm looking at a space, I'm not gonna hold you. I'm not seeing too many triangles. Like unless if I'm forcing it. I'm like seeing like 3 stars. Like I mean, ain't everything just a manifestation of energy? Shouldn't you just say energy and not just geometric figures? I don't know. Maybe I'm just not seeing it. Maybe like I have a bad feeling that this is just too big brain for me, and this is completely going over my head because it's too big brain.
A single word of it.
Like this is too complex
Without
even for
these,
me.
one wanders about in a dark labyrinth. Galileo Galilei. Today's video is sponsored by MSI.
Damn, cheap plug.
The golden ratio describes predictable patterns on everything from atoms to huge stars in the sky. The ratio is derived from something called the Fibonacci Sequence, named after its Italian founder, Leonardo Fibonacci. In the sequence, each number is simply the sum of the 2 preceding numbers. 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, etc. The simple...
No, you lost me. Hold on. 0 plus 1, 1. 1 plus 1 equals 2. 1 plus 2 equals 3. 2 plus 3 equals 5. 3 plus 5 equals 8. Okay? Like, what does that mean? Don't give me math. You know this is my weakness. You know, as smart as I am, I don't do math. Okay, I completely skip math. Like any mathematics above, bruv. I don't do them.
Sequence produces an amazing proportion of 1.618, which is known by many other names: the golden ratio, the golden mean, phi, and the divine proportion, among others. So why is this number so important? Well, almost everything has dimensional properties that adhere to the ratio of 1.618.
You said almost
so
everything.
So it seems to have a fundamental function for the building blocks of nature.
Okay, but how does...
For building properties that adhere to the ratio of 1.618. So it seems to have a fundamental function for the building blocks of nature. For billions of years, life on Earth has evolved around this proportion to maintain balance and harmony. Our ancient ancestors incorporated the golden ratio into their structures and daily lives. And today, our best technology continues this evolution, for it follows the laws of nature to design user experience, enhance aesthetics, and efficiency. This is the inspiration behind the MSI Creator Z16 laptop. MSI values human-oriented product design, merging golden ratio aesthetics design with modern-day technology, assisting users to solve problems in life, breaking through boundaries and exploring objective science ratio and subjective human emotion in one. Paying respect to the beauty of nature concept of technology with a concise CNC milled introverted texture, modernity, and practicality. This
I have never seen such a... Wow. I gotta read these comments. Notice that the edge of awareness... Notice that the edge of awareness leads to an expansion. Creation is a process of pushing boundaries and questioning limitations. And this is why when looking into oneself, one has to be able to draw the light of awareness into the dark and the unknown areas of oneself in order to expand and be reborn. Concise introduction to the topic of sacred geometry, a very useful starting point for the people who begin the journey. I thought this was for advanced. I thought this was for advanced people. I understood none of this. This is not a beginner's guide. What the fuck? Secret language? What do you mean? This is practically a mapped out psychedelic explanation of life. Combining science. I fucking love it. Spiritual plus science. This is how we will find out about where we come from. I sure hope so. It's known as a parabola. Children are taught the interconnectedness of videos explaining sacred geometry. Right, the science books every level. Move the collection. Follow. We've been in the heck for a whole time. Oh, this shit goes deeper. I don't have enough time to watch all of this information. Look, now I want to watch this.
Recently,
but I can't. Oh, fuck it. Oh, but I'm gonna let this one play out because he is a handsome man. Oh my god, fucking Ryan Reynolds, fucking daddy right there. Holy shit, look at this handsome man.
Wireless companies are
Look at this guy.
to raise prices due to inflation.
By the way, I gotta try out Mint Mobile because apparently he'll give you 3 months free or something like that. 6 months? No, 3. I think it's 3 months. But damn, Ryan Reynolds is starting his own. He's doing it big time. You know, I hope he can be out there competing with like AT&T and Sprint shit because they're fucking. He's right. I mean, he's probably gonna mention it here in this ad, but they be like doing some evil contract. Like these are some evil contracts.
Said yes. And then when I asked if raising prices technically violates those onerous 2-year contracts, they said, "What the f are you talking about, you insane Hollywood ass? Do you know how big their legal department is, face?" So to recap, Mint is actually lowering prices on every plan to just $15 a month. And I will stay the hell out of the legal department.
Well, I'm sure you're not just offering cheap prices because it's some shit. Like, I sure hope not. Because if you are, then that's disappointment. Because I'm expecting big things from you, Ryan Reynolds. Okay. Damn, why are they acting more after school? Their videos, their titles really intrigue me.
Fi has unlimited plans that fit your data usage.
Oh, shut up.
Bonded.
I'm gonna end it right there. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. After school. Sacred geometry of the universe. Let me know what you guys think. Drop a comment. Let me know if you guys understood any of that. Let me know what you if anybody made it to the end. By the way, you're a fucking G. I love you. You are the best. Leave a comment if you did. Let me know, and I will like it and I'll reply whatever. And also if you are into sacred geometry or something like that, I probably look so stupid, man. I probably look like a little ant. Like, what is that? What is that? What the fuck? If you could explain it to me any better. If you do know, let me know. Or just leave your thoughts on it. Let me know that I'm not the only one that thinks that shit is complicated as fuck. And I have no idea how they're making those connections. It seems like they're making connections where there are none. Like, I have just never dived into that realm of, like, the geometry of it all and the sacred geometry and how the geometry has anything to do with any of that. Like, that just seems even, like, way more complex than anything I've ever gotten into. Because you're talking about mathematics. Now you're talking about mathematics. And I just can't do it. I can't do math. I can't. I hate math. And that's why it's so hard. Because it's just like, you get into... I like big pictures. I like simplified shits. I don't like to get into mathematics. Anyway, man, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Yes, sir. Yeah, stop the recording.